SPS2021, and they could be lucky winners as well. So, first of all, to start off this session, we have Mr. Kelvin Thong, Associate Branch District Director of Propnex. He will be telling us about what to expect in luxury property market in 2021. So he will be sharing on one of the popular CCR projects. Wait, what's CCR? I just learned about it too. Core Central Region. One of the projects in the popular CCR projects, that's Martin Modern. So over to you, Kelvin.
Hi, good morning, Lillian, and good morning to everyone out there. And thank you so much for investing your morning with me. And let me actually share with you a very general question that a lot of people have in their mind, which is actually what really determines how profitable your core central region investment is going to be. All right, so just before I start off this morning's session, let me just do a self-introduction of myself. So I have actually been in the real estate industry for the last 11 years, and through which I've actually helped my clients to have done more than 800 transactions, and that results to approximately almost 10 million in production. And over these few years, I've actually accumulated a total of 250 awards. Now, I have actually been placing myself into the core central region scene since 2015, and with that, I've also been able to set up the Propnex Lux team together with our Lux head. And so with all this years of experience in the real estate industry, it's actually garnered me a few to be featured in Straits Times as well as Channel 5 and in many other real estate portals. So this actually gives me the ability to share with you a little bit more because of my experience in the Lux segment. And so today I'm going to ask you a few questions so that it will actually help me to get you interacted as well into this session today. All right, so let's begin. So who wants to know what are the 4 main factors that actually determines whether your core central region investment is going to be profitable? All right, so who wants to know? If you want to know, maybe you can just raise your hand, or you can actually place write a yes into the text box. All right, so the more you're going to participate, the more I'm going to share with you more in depth into my sharing today. All right, okay, so let's start with the very first factor. So everyone knows that actually, you know what? To me, the most important factor is actually the timing of the market, right? Because a lot of times people say, hey, when should I actually be entering? All right, so today let's discover a little bit more and who actually thinks that the entry timing actually determines the profitability. Who thinks this way? What do you think? All right, because actually when I looked into the property price index analysis, I come to discover that actually in Singapore, right, all the properties have actually appreciated over time. Okay, so over here you can see right from here all the way up, you can see that actually the prices have actually appreciated. But you know what? All children are different, right? Every child is different. And so let's have a look at what's the difference. Over here, we have got a indicator, all right? So we are using 2009, all right, in comparison, and we wanted to understand, right, what are the different segments, how are they performing, right? And we have gotten the whole chart over here. So we have got the outside of the central region and the rest of central region together with the core central region. And obviously over here we see that the outside of central region has actually outperformed all the rest of the other segments, which also means to say that today what I'm looking at is that the core central region is only appreciating a 32%. Right, from 2009 as compared to the other segments. So to me, I felt that actually, you know, because of this whole entire segment of the market is a little underplayed because it still has got a lot of room to grow given that the rest of the other segments have actually grown way ahead. So what does this mean? It means to say that if you bought a property in 2009, if you bought it in the outside of central region, your prices could have appreciated some 87% over the last 12 years. And today, if you're looking at core central region on the other perspective, you will realize that core central region has only increased just a mere 32%. So given today you have the opportunity, don't you think that by investing in the core central region property actually gives you a lot more room for for play. All right. So to me, this is important, and we want to understand this a little bit further. Okay. And when we looked at the numbers, we realized that actually, you know what, especially for the last 12 years, you can see that Singaporeans actually accounted for majority of these new home sales, right? So why are we talking about new home sales? Because new home sales are not homes that you can readily move into. They are homes that are considered future homes because they are not ready, and they probably need a few more years before they are completed, and then you can actually move in, right? So with that, we can see that if there is actually a lot of transactions, or in a matter of fact, if let's say you're looking at a lot of Singaporeans who are accounting for the bulk of these new home sales, which even last year during this lockdown and circuit breakers and so forth, which we are still in one right now, because we call it the circuit breaker phase 2.5, right? And that's also the main reason why most of us are staying safe at home right now, and that's the reason why I'm able to have this audience here with me today. All right, and we're looking at the numbers, and we see that even last year we're having 81.9% of these new homes are actually accounted by Singaporeans, right? So can you imagine, right, what's going to happen the moment, right? Because what I saw that is very interesting is that in the Core Central region, majority of the buyers that accounted for the purchases in the past were mainly foreigners. And after the cooling measures were introduced in 2009 onwards, you can see that actually the percentage has dropped, right? Dropped because of the cooling measures that were in play. So now, imagine if we are going to wait after this whole entire circuit breaker is over and everything resumes. I would definitely think that based on these articles, when the floodgates open, I believe that Singapore is going to be another we're going to undergo another round of foreigners who are going to come in here, because Singapore has actually ranked as one of the top picks for luxury homes. And of course, Singapore at the other end is one of the top 8 countries to relocate for work. So with these two in play, we will probably see that we're going to have a lot more investors coming in. We're going to have a lot more foreigners who are intending to make Singapore their home. And at the same time, we'll also be attracting expatriates who want to relocate to Singapore for work. And why is that so? Especially after this whole entire saga of COVID, why is it that we have actually made it into the top 10 list? Well, I think the main thing over here is that I think we really have to give it to the fact that Singapore is small and is containable, and obviously the government has done their fair share, and they have done a very good job in trying to keep all of us as safe as possible. And I think this is something that is, in comparison with our neighbors and all around the world, people are envious of us, and they are in fact jealous that we are actually doing a very good job here. So I think the moment that the floodgate opens, then I think that there's definitely a lot more room for growth, especially in the Core Central region segment, when the foreigner buyers are coming back. All right, so this is one of the main reasons I think that today, if we're going to go in at a 32% growth versus the rest of the segment of the markets, especially if you are owning a outside central region property, then maybe you should really consider to now sell it at the peak, and then you probably want to look for another segment that is actually underperforming at a point of time, and you probably want to ride on this wave before the foreigners come back, right? All right. And the second factor that I really personally find is important is actually the location, right? So obviously, everyone, when you talk about buying properties, people say it's all about location, location, location. And so today, let's have a look at this location. I bring you to think that, who actually in this room right now thinks that the right location actually determines the profitability of your Core Central region investment. How many of you really think so? Because I can tell you it's more than that, because now I'm going to share with you the micro factors of a favorable location. All right. So obviously, when we talk about a location, we want to ensure that wherever we are going to purchase or we're going to live has got to have the convenience, the amenities around us. And definitely today, with the changing lifestyles, etc., I think the lifestyle factor of the enclave have to be equally attractive. And definitely, if we are going to buy a property, we're not only going to look for one that is going to say that, we want to make it our home, but more importantly is whether do you think that this same place that we are purchasing, is it also equally attractive in terms of lease, right? Is this project actually going to be popular among the tenants and home buyers the same? Because the more demand there is, the more likely that this property price is going to appreciate. All right. And of course, most of us will also want to ride on transformation, right? And the transformation we're talking about here is all about the future URA transformation. We're talking about maybe the connectivity has increased and etc., which are all major factors that actually kind of help to appreciate your property over time, right? Okay, and right here I am going to show you an example, right? Because right here we have got the Robertson Quay, and I'm sure all of us as Singaporeans, we have all been to Robertson Quay, and let me tell you that actually this has been an all-time favorite destination home among most of us. All right, be it whether you are a local or you're a foreigner, most of us, we are really attracted to the charm of Robertson Quay. And why do I say that? Because Robertson Quay is a very, very unique enclave. This place is really a place whereby you don't really feel that you are really in Singapore. Why? Because this place is a mixture of different kind of architecture. We got architecture that was pre-war, and then we have got architecture that's conservation, and then we got like small boutique developments along the riverside. We got like big mega developments, residential developments, commercial buildings, right? And then we got all these F&B choices and all that, all clustered within the Robertson Quay area, right? And of course, I'm very fond of this area because I spend a lot of time there, not only for work, but even after work, I enjoy dining, and enjoying the space with my friends just before this whole entire COVID situation came in. And there's so many food choices, and they were all really good, even till today, just before this phase 2.5 started, right? Actually, I noticed that every time if you're going to go into Robertson Quay, be whether it's a Monday to a Friday or Saturday or Sunday, you would definitely need to make a reservation. If not, you're just going to be standing outside waiting for a table, and that's going to take a long time, right? So this is how popular this whole entire place is. And now I'm going to share with you that it's not just about location, but actually it's a location within a location, right? So because you see, the whole call center is break up into a very, very big segment. We have got districts 1, 2, 4, 9, 10, 11, and then of course we partially of the downtown core as well, right? So this is a very, very big segment, but location within a location, I'm not even talking about districts. I'm going to go narrow down into Robertson Quay itself, and today we are going to look at it, and we realize that this whole entire location, right, of Robertson Quay, it happens to be in between the Central Business District as well as the Orchard Shopping Belt. And how convenient is that? Just imagine if you are going to be living in Robertson Quay, commuting to work on Monday to Fridays, it's really a breeze. Why? Because it's so close by. You can actually even take the river taxi right down into Boat Quay as well as even into UOB Plaza. So this is something that it's really attractive and it's really exciting because I don't have to take a taxi, I don't have to ride a bicycle. I can actually take a river taxi down there without any traffic jams, and it's only cost $5. And it's really cooling and nice to travel down the river and then enjoy the scenic views along the way of the history of Singapore, especially when we know that this whole entire place has really brought Singapore to life, right? Okay, and at the same time, along this riverside, there were like wide selections of F&B offerings and stuff like that. And of course, if that's still not enough for you, right, you can actually go down to the revamped Great World Mall, which is just about 6 minutes away. Okay, 5 to 6 minutes walk away, you will get into this Great World Mall, which has got like 72 other additional F&B offerings, as well as 3 supermarkets and 1 Cineplex within that complex, which I call it the daily essential mall. This Great Wall is serving the whole entire neighborhood, okay, which we can see that obviously that the tenant mix within Great Wall attracts majority of our foreigner friends who are expatriates who are living in this vicinity as well. Okay, and of course, if you are sick of just the daily essentials, you can also just stroll down into Orchard Shopping Belt, where you can get all your luxury goods and your big brands and stuff like that, which is really convenient. So this is one of the very, very interesting enclaves whereby you have got the convenience of both worlds, be whether is it on the weekday or even a weekend. And even on the weekdays, you and I know that the whole entire Robertson Quay comes to life even at night. Okay, but of course, there will also be another discerning crowd whereby we are talking about our local Singaporeans who also want to have a piece of Robertson Quay. We also want to live within there. But the big question is there any of these family amenities that is going to suit us, right? So the question here is that most of us, as we grow older, we have children, and then the major topic of where do we send our children to, right? Which school should we register them to? And within just less than 1.5 minutes walk, you will actually arrive into River Valley Primary School. All right, of course. According to our government, they say that all primary schools are equal and blah 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 blah. But I don't know. When I looked at kiasuparents.com, it doesn't seem to suggest that. It seems that River Valley Primary School is one of the top ranking schools, and definitely I believe that there must be a reason for this. And the application, the application process into that school seems rather popular because there are only 200 placements in that school on an annual basis, and out of which I think there are an allocation of 90 placements for students who are living within 1 kilometer radius to this school. And obviously, if we are looking at that, the interesting part is that according to kiasuparents.com, your chance of registering your school within 1 kilometer radius is just 50%. So I can daringly tell you that there's some 180 parents trying to register their children on an annual basis, which also equates to mean there's 180 new demand buyers or tenants who are intending to register their children into that school, and that's on an annual basis. So every single year, you're just gonna have another new crowd of 180. Right. So this is really interesting because this actually create some kind of demand, right? And that's also going to then look into what we talk about the game changer. Because when we actually studied Robertson Quay, I come to realize that Robertson Quay actually doesn't have any public transport. Can you believe it? For so many years, this place has so much history, and there's not even a single public bus that's running through the streets of Robertson Quay. That's crazy because all the buses were all surrounding on the exterior of this, and all of a sudden now we are having this game changer, and we are having a Great Wall MRT station right within walking distance from the side gates, okay, and of every other development surrounding this Great Wall MRT. And how convenient that's going to be. And this is actually supposed to be targeted to be ready by this year. But looking at how COVID has taken us down, I believe that it should be ready by next year. All right, so we're all looking forward to this station. The last I saw this station, it's all completely covered up, and I have also seen the erection of the station entrances, and I have also really witnessed how this whole entire process has gone through while I was actually spending a lot of my 6 years in Robertson Quay itself. Okay, all right, so this game changer is going to what? It's going to increase connectivity, the connectivity that never existed. And this is something very, very important. You know why? Because I realized that the people who live in Robertson Quay, all right, they are actually non-dependent on public transport. But there are some of us who really require it because we are school-going children, right? And these school-going children, they actually need this public transport in order to commute, right? From school to home. And looking at how this is going to change this is that the very first kind of people that are going to come and live in Robertson Quay will be the people who have always wanted to join their friends here, but then there wasn't public transport. Now that we're going to increase the connectivity, they are going to come, and they are not going to worry about their children not having public transport, right? So this is going to increase the demand here. And when you have an increment of the demand, what's going to happen? You're probably going to have a lot more people wanting to live here, and that means to say that demand has increased, and that will change the whole landscape of Robertson Quay. All right, so this is the reason why a lot of people tells you that if you're going to buy a property, buy one that's going to have an incoming, like an MRT station. But then they don't explain to you why. How come the MRT station is going to mean to say you're going to have an increase in value, right? Okay, so your property value actually increases because your demand increased. Okay, so that's how it works. Now, looking at the existing rental transactions volume in Robertson Quay as per se, we are seeing that, averagely for the last 5 years, there's averagely about 1,000 transactions, okay, in this vicinity. Okay, the question here is that out of these 1,000 transactions, we want to know what's the kind of rental that we can actually get. So over here, I have done some summation for you. I've actually selected for properties that are under 3 years old, okay, and size of about below 1,500 square feet. And this is the average per square foot that we are spotting right now in Robertson Quay, $6.62 per square foot. And that's interesting because you know why? A lot of the existing developments over there are only able to get approximately $4.50 to $5.50 per square foot. Why is it so that the new ones over here are able to give you a higher per square foot? So let's try to understand what is the difference. The very first thing that I discovered is that in Robertson Quay, right, it has been a very, very long time ever since there was actually a new development in Robertson Quay. Can you believe that? Because all the rest of the developments are at least 12 years older. 12 years is a long time, right? So of course, when the development has aged and all that, definitely it will not be able to command a premium. So the premium over here is derived because they are newer and it's rare. There isn't any to begin with. Okay, so let's have a look at the supply, because just now I keep talking about the demand. Let's have a look at the supply, and we are talking about this whole entire Robertson Quay that's highlighted in peach. Okay, and this whole area here, if you didn't know, actually, right, 50% okay of Robertson Quay is full commercial. Okay, full commercial is highlighted in orange now. And then we have the other 50% of Robertson Quay that is fully residential, which is highlighted in blue. Okay, and these, the total number of residential developments that's highlighted in blue actually comes to a total number of 20. Okay, just 20 residential developments, and this 20 makes out a total of 2,970 private condominium units within these 20 residential developments. Okay, and that also included the 3 new mega residential projects that are upcoming in the next few years. Okay, so today I actually want to also highlight another factor that will also determine whether your development is going to make money or not. Okay, so what is the factor number 3? Is none other than the developer. Okay, so the developer, how many of you think that is the branding of the developer that actually determines the profitability of your core central region investment? All right, so let's have a look a little bit more, and let's just see the micro factors of this. What actually determines to say that it's a favorable developer? Okay, for me, to really have a tick off the checklist, must be top trusted brand. The developer must be able to be trusted to deliver quality, and must be reputable with a brand heritage if possible, with a lot of market presence, and definitely seen as a market leader with a lot of innovation ideas, okay, that is going to bring up the value of the properties that I'm buying from them. And definitely the most important thing is that whenever we look at such a developer, they will usually work with very respectable partners, be whether is it the architects or even the whole entire team, from the builder all the way down to the landscape architect and all that. all these people have to be respectable, and they must have a very good track record, and they must have actually done something good that we can actually reference with. Because these days when we are buying especially development that we are only looking at the show flats, or we are looking at the models, we can't exactly visualize the real thing, right? Because we are all just giving the benefit of the doubt. But how do I give the benefit of the doubt unless I know that this developer is trustworthy and is trusted, right? So the word here is trust, right? And I think that's very, very, very important. And let's just have a look. I'm just going to give you an example, okay, which is none other than Guaco Land. And Guaco Land is a premier developer, okay, in Asia. And obviously, they have also been listed in our stock exchange since 1978. And through these years, right, they have actually developed some 36 residential projects, accumulating a total of almost 11,000 luxury homes. And they have actually won countless awards through that whole entire 43 years. Okay, and definitely one very, very I say that they really quite what's the word that we can use here is that they are so good at what they're doing. They even tried to build a crown property, which is none other than Guaco Tower, right? To build it as Singapore's tallest building of 299 meters is not something that everybody will be willing to do it, but I must give it to Guaco Land because they really have that kind of experience and that kind of team behind them that is able to deliver such a development. And I think that is really cool, right? Because this is going to be something that it's going to run into their history, and this is one of the milestones that they created, and this is really the establishment of the brand in totality. And this is something that I think is fairly important. And when I want to buy a property from a developer, I will definitely want to understand a little bit more about their history and what they have actually created in the past, because that will garner me the confidence that they will be able to deliver the same project that they are actually offering to me right now. Okay, so when we looked at I just picked up one of their pages on their websites, and I realized that just last year alone, right, they have actually gotten more than 15 awards. All right, be it whether is it on the company level or whether is it on project level, they actually try their best to achieve as many awards as possible. Okay, and I think this is not something simple and easy, all right, but I think that they are working towards the future. Right? But why do I keep saying this future word? Because I believe that in the future, it's all about sustainability. It's all about the green marks and all that, right? And we can see in almost every single of their projects, in the last 6 projects that they've created, every single one of them actually qualified for the Green Mark Awards. All right, and some of which they have actually achieved the gold class. Some of them they have actually achieved even the platinum class of awards for Green Mark, right? And I think that's not so easy. And right here, I have a showcase of the most recent collections by Guaco Land, which have actually won countless awards, and definitely not only won the awards, but also won the hearts of the home buyers, right, as well as even the tenants, because I realized that for all these Guaco projects, it seems that whenever they TOP, they seem to be able to command somewhat a higher rental because of the intrinsic value in the properties that they've created, which over here we can see started off with Goodwood Residence, we got Leiden Residence, and then we got Martin Modern, we had Mayor Mansion, Midtown Bay, and the latest Midtown Modern that was really selling like hotcakes, right? So for Midtown Modern, I think on the very first weekend of launch, which happened this year, right, they actually managed to sell 340 units, right, just over the very first weekend of launch. And that was really amazing because the prices were actually, averaging approximately close to $2,800 per square foot on average. And that is something that I think is going to be interesting to see how this whole entire Midtown this Guaco Midtown is going to really unfold, right? Because this is going to be the future. in Bugis, and it's going to be really nice. And of course, now we're going to unleash the very last factor, which is factor number 4. It's none other than the development. Okay. All right. So here I'm going to showcase a project, okay, which I think most of us, based on all these images and all that, some of us have seen this before, some of us have not. And let me just share with you a little bit more about, you know, how to pick the right development to buy, because that will actually determine the profitability of your core central region investment. Okay, so the micro factors of looking for a favorable development is that number 1, we will want to make sure that it has a very good land size. Okay, and of course, we want to have a wide variety of unit types. We wouldn't want a development whereby there's only 1 or 2 or 3 kind of unit types. We want to have a variety. What kind of variety? We're talking about, you know, we're going to cater for everybody. All right, if you want to today own a 3-bedroom apartment, right, we actually have 2 different types of sizes. One is what we call the classic size, and the other being the premium size. So premium size obviously is actually to cater for this crowd of people who used to be buying 4-bedroom apartments, and then they try to knock down one of the rooms so that they have a bigger living room and so forth, right? So right here, we don't need you to do that, because we have created a specially curated kind of layout that's going to be suitable for one who wants a large living room, huge room sizes. And if that's what you're looking for, then we do have some units here in this next development that I'm going to share with you in a very short while. Okay, and of course, the other thing that that's going to be attractive to your tenant profiles as well as home buyers, right, is actually full condo facilities. What is full condo facilities? We're talking about you must at least have a tennis court, and then you must have swimming pool, gym, you know, and all the rest of the facilities, that as much as possible, because that is going to be the real attraction to the next person who wants to be a resident of this condominium. Okay, and then of course, today I think that most developers have really outplayed everyone by increasing the amount of landscaping. It seems that everybody now wants to have a park or a garden within their home, and that is especially so after the COVID situation in Singapore, right? Because we then don't have to go so far. We just walk downstairs, you know, it's good enough. I need the landscaping. I need to have my own little park within my development. Okay, and of course, nowadays, everybody, especially in the core central region, if you have no concierge service, right, then it's like, you know, you're short of something, because you really need a kind of lifestyle service that they are able to provide. Okay, and of course, the next thing will be the quality finishes as well as the provisions provided within the apartment itself, and the avant-garde designs, and most importantly is whether does it actually have a wow factor or not. Okay, so let's have a look at this development that I'm going to showcase today, which is none other than Martin Modern. All right, Martin Modern is on a relatively large plot of land. I would dare to say that it comes as one of the top 10 largest in the whole entire, not just Robertson Quay, but the whole entire District 9, standing at 171,536 square feet, with only just 2 standing towers of 30 stories each, accumulating a total of 450 units, right, with full condo facilities and concept services, right, made up of 2, 3, and 4 bedders. But we have got different kind of 3 bedrooms for your selection. Okay, and right here, I want to show you a short clip and video for you to actually embrace this development, because I think nothing else can showcase this development better than this fly-through video. All right, so let's enjoy this together. Okay, so I'm sure all of you must have enjoyed this video. I've watched this video up 10 times and, it still doesn't fail to amaze me each time I see this video. All right, so in this video, right, do you notice that actually there were so many facilities, right? And actually what happened is that one thing I want to share with you is that we're talking about not just the land size, but we're talking about the landscaping, right? And you have seen that within the videos itself, there seem to be a total of 15 different garden teams. And this whole entire concept and idea, right, I must give credit to their very prestigious partner, which is none other than our local architect, which is Yip Yuan Hong, right? So he is actually an architect that is very well known for his President Award designs that he have created with many good class bungalows. And because of his local presence, right, he actually understood that over here we are trying to create what we call like a good class condominium. Why? Because he decided that the two towers, right, that is standing on this 171,000 square feet land shall not occupy more than 20%. So he has actually left some 80% fully dedicated to full landscaping and facilities for our enjoyment. And this is the main attraction, and this is what we call innovation, because this was the very first time among all the rest of the developments in Singapore, they're actually able to give you this land ratio of 80%, right? And I think that is how you showcase that you are not just a follower, but more of a market leader. Okay, and obviously this whole screen in front of me right here is one of the most attractive facilities of all time, because these days everybody is trying to give you a lawn. And you know what? This whole entire lawn over here, we have got actually not one but two lawns. Okay, the one in front of us right here, actually you can do some lawn sports, etc. Okay, and that's something that I think actually what Yip Yuan Hong was trying to achieve here was that he wanted to pay tribute to this entire Robertson Quay. In the early 1800s, this plot of land used to be a nutmeg plantation. And so because of this, he thought that maybe it's good to do a garden home to pay tribute to these nutmeg plantations of the past. And then past in the 1900s, right, actually you saw that Robertson Quay went through another transformation, which they became a place of go downs and warehouses. And so you can see from the external facades of Martin Modern, the purpose of using a very industrialized outlook of this whole entire building was to create a very huge contrast when you enter into the apartments with high polished surfaces and very luxurious fittings and provisions that actually makes it outstand the rest of the other developments. And this is something why he created this is because even at the top of these two towers, they have actually topped it up with the crowns of Martin Modern. And these crowns actually resemble the replicas of the go downs of the past that have been left there. The ruins of the go downs have been left there with a secret garden that is meant to grow in a very wild but yet at the same time manicured way, to represent that these warehouses have been left there for the last 100 years, and then for you to actually enjoy these premises with your family and friends, where there are actually many outdoor dining options for you up there as well. Okay, so these are the little perks and the innovation of creating some kind of facilities and all that actually has got to do with the history of the place. And this is something that a local architect is able to bring out because of their their knowledge and obviously what they have learned of this whole place in the first place, right? Okay. And then, of course, I also think that he did a very good job because he was able to orientate the towers in order to maximize the views. The very first thing that we saw is that the two towers are actually in an L-shaped formation so that they do not actually block each other in terms of the view. That's number one. Number two, they have actually orientated the towers in a way whereby they are going to avoid all the buildings around them. All right, so then that again allows you to have a magnificent view in whichever direction that you're facing. And I thought that was really cool because you see over here, if you look this way, you will actually have an unblocked view because you are putting yourself away from these two towers. Okay, and then over here, these are all lower rise. So once we are clearing probably on the 15th floor and above, you probably already have a very fascinating view. And of course, on this side will be one of the nicest view, which is actually looking into the river. Okay, and actually many people didn't realize that okay, in this picture over here, unfortunately it doesn't do justice to the face, but the city view actually also comes with the MBS view, which you are able to see from the 15th floor above. I think that's really a view that most people call it the $1,000,000 view. It's really nice. You are able to sight the fireworks from afar, and you know, seeing fireworks from afar versus seeing them popping right above you is a totally different experience. Yeah, because you are able to see in a panoramic view, and it's really nice to see that scene of the city skyline. Okay, and now I'm going to just let me give you a virtual tour. I'm just going to take one of the developments, one of the units here, and I'm going to share with you because this development, right, really is really outstanding in terms of everything. Okay, and right here we are in the 2-bedroom apartment of 764 square feet. And right here we are actually on a ground floor unit simulated with a ultra high ceiling height of 3.9 meters. Of course, if today you were to buy a typical floor unit, which is not the ground floor or the top floor of 30th story, you will actually still be enjoying a higher ceiling than your neighbors because our typical ceiling height here is 3.2. So how high is 3.2? Because this one now in this video is actually 3.9. Let me just take you up and I'll show you a point. You will see an arrow over here, and this arrow over here actually denotes the 3.2 meter ceiling height. Okay, and what I noticed is that for 764 square feet, in comparison with many of the developments around District 9, we must say that this is a very spacious living and dining hall because it's able to place in a 3-seater sofa set together with a 6-seater dining table, and yet it actually has a very good distance from the TV wall. Okay, and that distance over there is actually a good 3 meters distance. So that's something that a lot of people are looking out for, especially so when they are looking at buying a property. They want to find a place that is not just comfortable, but it must be a very efficient layout. Why do we talk about efficiency? Because imagine with the prices these days of the per square foot increasing at this kind of price rates, definitely I would not want to pay for bay windows and planter boxes and kitchen yards and all these other bomb shelters and so forth, right? Because all this is money to me. If I can remove all this and transform them into a very efficient layout and yet keep the quantums low, I think that will actually help a lot more. Okay, in terms of the provisions, right here in front of me, you can see that we are using this marble floors, and the marble slabs are actually of a bigger piece. They are all about 800 by 800 mm. Okay, why do we want to use larger pieces? Because then there will be less joint lines, and definitely it feels a lot more luxurious that way. Okay, so let me just take you through and let's have a look at the whole apartment from here, and you will see that above us we are actually providing ducted air cons for the living and dining halls. Okay, and to replace your storage spaces, we have created storage solutions for you as well. So right here we have got one cupboard, and let me just open it up for you. And right in here, you will see that there's a washer and dryer, and there's actually also movable planks above this washer in case if your tenant or you yourself would like to have a separate dryer, you are able to remove these planks and you are able to then stack another dryer on top. At least there is already the provision of the socket as well as a space for you to do so. right? And then, of course, on the right-hand side is where we created additional storage solutions for you for your vacuum cleaners, pails, and so forth, right? Okay, and then, of course, the rest of the carpentry upstairs and all that. These are all very practical spaces for you to replace your bomb shelters and all that. Okay. All right, so then let's have a look. Right here, we are also providing a very good kitchenette, because this kitchenette is going to, first of all, it's an imported kitchenette from Italy, and at the same time, it's also accompanied together with the Miele kitchen appliances, which covers the hob, the hood, the oven, and then also with an integrated fridge from Smack. Okay, and then right here, this is the very, very cool thing, because right these days, right, I actually go to see a lot of new developments, and I realize that, everyone's shoes are just like in a mess on the doorway of their doors, right? And right here, what these guys have done is that they have actually created some shoe cabinets or some shelving for you to actually place either your shoes, or you could also be placing small items and do labeling, so that at the end of the day you will actually have compartmentalized storage spaces for your smaller items that you used to just chuck into your bomb shelters, and then eventually you're no longer able to find them and we can write it off completely. Okay, so this is really a very, very practical home, and right here I want to show you how amazing this space is. Okay, let me just take you through to the common bathroom. Okay, sorry. All right, so this is the common bathroom, and in the common bathroom, first of all, we can see that full marble cladding, all right, throughout from the floors all the way up to the ceilings, and then including all the ledges. And of course, in terms of the provisions, Guaculan has actually provided very good finishes. So we are using the top-notch mixers from Exor, okay, accompanied together with Lawfen for all the basins and the sanitary ware. And of course, we are also using the Gerberit wall hung water closet. Okay, and then at the same time, there's also the rain shower that are being provided even in the common bathroom. Okay, and of course, being practical, they have a lot of storage spaces for you, and everything that you see within this bathroom right now will be provided except for all the loose items lah, huh? Okay. All right, and then of course now I want to impress you a little further with the common bedroom. And the common bedroom size over here is actually very comfortable, because it's able to actually place in a queen size bed together with a side table. Okay, just let me just walk a little bit nearer here, and then let's have a look. And I really like the finishing that they are actually providing for the wardrobes as well. This is actually what we call the acid mirrors. Okay, the acid mirrors finish actually gives you to have a fingerprintless kind of texture. So even when you touch, usually when you touch a glass or a mirror, usually your fingerprints, and this one is, totally will not leave any fingerprints at all. Very easy to maintain, very easy to clean, and yet it has a very understated kind of beauty. Okay, and now that the common rooms are this size, right, let me just show you how big exactly is our master bedroom. Okay, this is the master bedroom. On display is a king size bed, and you have actually ample space that is surrounding the bed itself. All right, so it's very comfortable, very nice, and very big as well. Okay, and down here, luckily, we have got one of the wardrobes that are open so that you can actually see the internal finishes of the wardrobe. And they are actually using melamine boards instead of PVC and stuff like that, which is usually from all the Italian wardrobe makers. Okay, they are actually much nicer in terms of finishes. And of course, in the bedrooms, we are providing you with solid timber strips. Okay, and in the master itself, it's just a bigger version of what we saw earlier in the common bathroom. This one is a little bit more spacious, okay, in my opinion, but in terms of the provisions, they are similar, okay. And one other thing before we end this virtual tour, I just wanted to show you was what do we mean by a developer being innovative and being a market leader. Now, first of all, you see how they are trying to help you to make the place even more efficient is that even with the slightest 1 cm, they also want to help you to create. Because can you see that the walls over here, the skirtings are actually flushed with the wall? They do not protrude out. And so this actually, throughout the parameters of this layout, right, actually you already gain some square feet in a way. Okay. And then next is that, do you see over here in the bathroom, right? Do you see that there's this, sorry, let me just go back. You do see that there's this actually two black lines on the floor. These are actually the floor traps, so that the water actually doesn't flow out into the common areas. Why do they want to do this? Because over here we do not have a step down. So basically the bathrooms, right, and the living rooms and the bedrooms, they are all at the same height. And so therefore they actually created like the hotel like that. They do the floor trap right at the entrance of the bathroom so that the water will never be able to get out of the bathroom. And I think these are the small little things and the details that showcases how innovative and how the developer strives to become a market leader. Because this is not something that I see in many of the core central region properties that I've seen so far. Okay. All right. So with that, let me just come back here and let me just end the tour over here by showing you a 360 view of this whole entire apartment. Okay. All right. And then now let me go back to my screen again. All right. So the good and exciting news about this multi-modern, right, is actually going to TOP in the third quarter of this year. Okay, and there's actually a final release of the last 25 prime units in this development, and you'll be surprised that we actually have every single different unit mix, right? We actually have a unit for you to select out from these 25 prime units. Okay, the reason for this is because they kept the top floors. Okay, and right here you are actually given this opportunity to now have this chance to not only be able to buy a unit here, but also to be able to choose any direction that you want, any unit type that you want. And that is the beauty of these last 25 units. All right. Okay. So with that, let me just do a summary. So in my opinion, I think that the timing of the market, the location, the developer, the development are the fairly important factors for all property investments. Okay, so with that, let me now have a look. We have a very long list of questions and answers. Okay, and let me just start off with the very first one from Derek Heng. Okay, so your question is that between studios, 1 bedrooms, and 2 bedroom apartments, which property type has the best occupier, tenant demand, supply dynamic in the prime Orchard market? Now, to what I understand, let's probably identify the unit mix of most projects. So we will notice that developers have a tendency to build the least number of studios and 1 bedrooms as compared to 2-bedder apartments. The reason for this is because obviously there is a stronger demand when it comes to 2-bedroom apartments. And the reason for this is because you have got a wider profile, right? You could be renting to a single person, you could be renting to a couple, or even 2 friends, or even a young family with a small child, right? So these are the options that you open up to a bigger network of tenant profiles. Then that's where you'll probably be able to see that there is more transactions based on that. Okay, so I hope that I've helped to answer this question of yours. Okay, the next question will be from Ella. Could it be slower growth for core central region is because it is too matured or no demand? Okay, I believe you are referring to what I was mentioning earlier about the percentage growth as compared to the outside central region and rest of central region. Okay, I can explain this because the percentage that we benchmarked against was year 2009, and we also understood that since 2009 the cooling measures were in play. And these cooling measures actually kind of like came to a slowdown for foreigners, especially so in year 2013, because in year 2013 is the period of time whereby the additional buyer stamp duties that were being slammed onto foreigners was at the highest, right? So because of this, we all understand the reason why the foreigners are being kept away, because they were also waiting, and they were thinking whether, what if today as a foreigner I buy and I pay the additional buyer stamp duty, what if tomorrow you decide as a government to remove it, then I'll become, caught, right? So because of this, they are also wary and so forth. So this is the main reason why the demand for core central region properties were not at its peak. Yeah. But what I see oncoming is that because of this COVID saga, the foreign demand could actually be driving the numbers very soon. Once the floodgates are open. Okay, so this is why I feel that this is the reason why there was a slower growth in the core central region. Okay, previously. All right. And then now let me answer another question. I think for Hanky Lee, I think I've kind of like answered it in a way, based on the question that was asked by Ella. Okay, and then okay, Guo Hao has got this question whether Martin Modern, is it freehold or 99 years leasehold? It was actually a government land sale, so yes, it was a 99 years leasehold. Okay. Okay, so what's the monthly maintenance for Martin Modern? All right, the monthly maintenance for Martin Modern starts from a price of $409 per month for our 2 bedrooms. Okay. When can view the actual units before buying? Okay, so basically we have got virtual tours of every single unit type, and we are able to. Of course, you can reach out to any of our fellow real estate industry agents. Any of the agencies will actually have information on that. So probably whoever invited you into this session, you can actually be speaking to him to actually get the information on that. Okay. We currently anticipate that because the TOP is going to be in Q3 2021. So I believe that by the time we will likely be able to view the actual units. But I urge you not to wait till then, because I think by then it may have already been fully sold out, because now we are only left with discerning 25 units, which is actually moving. Like just last week alone, we just sold another unit as well. Okay, so our 3 bedrooms are less popular than 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms in the core central region, which will pose a challenge for exit strategy. I think the 3 bedrooms are now getting a little popular because with the younger generations, right, they are actually looking forward to live in the city area. And when they make a comparison with other core central region locations, right, they all seem to prefer Robertson Quay as a home because of the factors that I shared earlier during my presentation. Yeah. Okay. Any price increase for the newly released units versus those when it was launched? Okay, so basically, for sure, that the current prices definitely has appreciated because of the land prices as well. So right here, for this development itself, it was actually land bidded in year 2016, and at that point of time, the land prices were only approximately about 1,200 plus per square foot. Yeah, and then over time, of course, we know that in comparison with many other locations in Singapore, the land prices have actually increased somewhat by approximately 20 to 30%. So with that, definitely today the price is still attractive because of the promotions that the developer is showing. Okay, so maybe you can reach out to the agent that has actually invited you. Okay, all right. Okay. What are the... Okay, so the unit mix is every single unit type we have. We have the 2 bedrooms, we have the 3 bedroom classic, as well as the 3 bedroom premium, as well as the 4 bedroom premium as well. Okay. Okay, is 99 years lease affect the preservation of the value when lease decrease? Actually, what I studied, not only in the core central region, I think it's island-wide. I realized that for 99 years leasehold, some people tell me that, oh, if you buy 99 years leasehold today, then later on, when it gets older, and then, they have a shorter lease left, then the prices will actually be dropping. It means the value actually drops. But actually, I went to study the whole Singapore, all the leasehold properties, right? Including one that I actually bought in year 2004. Actually, till today, right, the price did not drop. Actually, the price still increased from the time I purchased it all the way until now. And I didn't see that the price actually dropped below the original launch period price, you know. So it cannot be that way because there's still inflation in play, right? Okay. All right. So how many car park lots? Yes, we are 1-to-1. So we have 450 car park lots. Okay. Okay, which particular district in the core central region has the best growth for property value? Okay, this in terms of, I don't think it's really district as per se. I think it's really about the cluster, right? The enclave itself. So you got to find one that it's popular among everybody. Everybody seems to like it, kind of thing. It's a universal enclave that everybody appreciates, and the kind of thing. I think that is what you should be looking at. Okay, and then will property value in core central region slow down or drop if the COVID situation gets worse and people are all working from home? I think the property value, as for what we have seen so far, even with the lockdowns and circuit breakers and all that, the price seem to have still go upward. Okay, the only drop in terms of percentage is probably seen in a very, very micro disadvantage of maybe point something percent kind of thing. Yeah, so to me, I think because of the timing of the market and right now, as the vaccinations are increasing and all that around the world, I think it is not just boiled down to Singapore alone. I think it's got to be a global effort, and this global effort and the whole result of this whole thing will actually change how everybody work and live and where they live. Okay, and that's where I think that Singapore is going to be the ever popular destination for people to make as their home to these international friends out there that we have. Yeah, so this I hope I answered that question for you. Okay. Martin Modern is not a 15 minutes walk from the MRT. Okay, it's actually a 3 minutes walk from our side gate, right down River Valley Green. Okay, it will actually lead you to the Great World MRT, and also connect you right into the Great World itself. Yeah, so in terms of public transport, it's going to be very, very convenient. Yeah. Okay. All right. So with that, I think I've come to an end of the questions and answers. All right. And I really, really thank all of you for really investing your time this morning. It's not easy to wake up so early on a Sunday morning, and I thank you for spending that 1 hour and 7 minutes with me. Okay, all right, and I wish all of you all the best, and please stay safe, and thank you for tuning in, and please also register yourself for the rest of the Singapore Property Show segments. Okay, because I believe that there will be a lot of great takeaways for you as well. Okay, all right, thank you. And back to MediaCorp.
Thank you, Kelvin. Well, that was very, very insightful sharing. And the Q&A, I must say, we have some very seasoned investors, home buyers among us, asking very, very good questions. So if you were curious about some of the things that Kelvin had said and it prompted you to think a bit more, I'm sure you can ask your agent, or you can hang on for our sessions because this is not just a one-day webinar. Yesterday was day 1, today we are at day 2, and next weekend we have day 3 and day 4. So check out the schedule, stay tuned to us so that you can learn a lot more. And well, of course, we also have the cash prizes to give away. So at the end of every session, we have 2 lucky winners who will walk away with $100 cash each. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to bring on this lucky draw wheel. It's going to appear on my palm. Ta-da! Look, see? This lucky draw wheel, we're going to spin it, and at the end of the spin, we will see who will walk away with this $100 cash. Ready, get set, spin! Looks like I got superpower, right? Okay, it's going to stop, and then right now we're going to see who is the winner. The name is going to appear soon. You will see it too. This is Jessie. Jessie, your phone number is the last 4 digits, 2120. Congratulations, Jessie. So right now we're going to spin the wheel again because we have 2 winners. Ready? Whoa, 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 whoa. Are you going to stop? Stop. And our second winner is, look for yourself. Is it your name? Mabel, congratulations. Your phone number, last 4 digit is 0386. So if you just tuned in to us and you go like, huh, the lucky draw is over already. Don't worry, because at the end of every session, we have one more round. So we have many, many winners. It might be you. So tell your friends and ask them to sign up at SPS, Singapore Property Shows, SPS2021.99.co. We will be taking a very, very short break, and later on you will look out for another session, and this session is very inspiring. Why? Because I have interviewed the man himself. He is the CEO of ERA. He will be sharing with us how he had gained wealth or grow his wealth and portfolio via investment in properties. So that might inspire you as well. This is going to be, the 11:30 session is going to be in Mandarin, but with a single, simple tool, you can listen to the English version as well. So we take a very short break and we'll be back shortly. See you later.
Hi, we're here today at Chorus at Keppel Bay, a development that combines the grandeur of the seafront and brilliant urban design. I'll be your host, and I'll show you around this exclusive estate by the waterfront that is the ultimate epitome of a luxury retreat from the bustling city. We're now here at the private lift lobby of this 3,122 square feet 4-bedder deluxe suite. Digitally unlock your door and step into your glamorously decorated apartment designed by a star interior designer. The generous living area is ideal for hosting gatherings. Spanning the length of your entire living area, your balcony space is perfect for an alfresco dining experience. Enjoy the cool breeze from a balcony as you take in stunning views of the sea and the lush greenery with resorts worth Sentosa in the distance. The dining area easily accommodates 8 to 10. For more